Alright, yes, okay. I am going to get back to Phantom Pain soon, hopefully today. I was out yesterday, so I couldn't, but I was going to. And I have some other things to do, so hopefully I can get around to it today, but maybe not. I don't know how long this stream is going to be. But I want to finish up my Warframe tier list today. So I'm trying to get through the last remainders. I already actually have every Warframe placed in the tier list. There's certain frames I'm unsure about. One of them being Vault. I already mentioned Vault the last time I played. Where do I have him currently placed? I don't see him. I currently have him in B tier under Rendor and Mag. Now I'm thinking maybe I should also place Mag a little bit higher up. So although she is best in a wide open area like that, it's also true that in a smaller location. Okay, yeah, I should push Mag up as well a little bit. Anyway, my Vault build probably isn't the best, but it should be serviceable. At least. Wait, if you use a shield... Oh, it doesn't restrict you to secondary. Okay, good.
Your lack of honor has brought disappointment.
Okay, that's what I feared. The 4 does not deal a lot of damage. And of course, the damage of his 4 scales off of a lot of things. In fact, it scales off literally every stat. Really. But yeah, this is not impressive. But it's not even truly able to get through trash here. And my build is not bad. It's kind of a little bit mid-level and everything. It's like one... I mean, yeah, I have prime continuity for duration and that's it. Otherwise, I have 175 range and 200% strength. And I have raw here. So this should not be a bad build. It really should be capable of getting through basic trash, which is getting through butchers and crewmen, I think, but not even regular lancers otherwise. I'm only going to take him for 5 minutes, so I don't feel like taking him any further.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more
I tested Zaku, and Zaku's even better than I actually remember or was expecting. Again, it's crazy to say that Octavia's best friend in the game and Zaku exists. Zaku is fucking crazy. Zaku is pretty much a direct upgrade to Octavia. I say direct upgrade, I mean in terms of like being the frame which scales with enemy level. They play very differently, obviously. However, Volt and Jaya actually do have similarities. Quite a few. They both have a crit buff in their kit. Jaya has crit damage. Well, no, Jaya has crit chance, whereas Volt has crit damage. They both have an electricity damage focused nuke, which scales based on enemy density. But Jaya is just way better because Jaya gets way bigger damage than enemies. I will grant Volt probably has better survivability than Jaya. I mean, like throughout this entire process, we've basically taken 0 damage. We're nowhere near dying even once. We'll give him that. We're at 3 minutes. 321 total kills. So we are... KPM might be doing good. But I'm pretty sure that's just Strun Prime doing the work. So I mean, that's the thing with weapons platforms frames. Do I give a credit to a frame, or do I give it to a weapon? It's hard to tell, because obviously they are weapons platform frames, so it's impossible to not give credit to a weapon. So the weapon is the thing doing the damage. But it's like, to what extent, like, do I need the frame's help? So like, in terms of a weapon platform, all Volt is doing for me, he's not even like contributing status procs here. All he's doing is giving me a little bit of extra electricity damage every time I fire, thanks to his passive, and he's giving me a crit damage multiplier thanks to his shield.
You know what they say. The road
And a reload speed boost from his 2. I suppose you could also say the movement speed bonus helps. But stunning the enemies in place kind of arguably helps me line up headshots. I suppose you could also say that. But I don't feel like it's helping all that much, considering it's a bit chaotic. I'm getting spammed with fucking scam phone calls right now. I do think I am conceptually a fan of a frame which is both a weapon platform and a nuker at the same time. Which is kinda... Calervo kinda does that. Also, I'm considering retesting Dagger using a different playstyle. Last time we tested her with a ability nuke playstyle. I think 5 minutes. 5 minutes 10. Okay, so I mean 100 KPM. Good. Oh, Acolyte hasn't spawned in yet. Let's wait for one to spawn in before we chat. Only take another 30 seconds, surely. Also, of course, I just made this Vault fashion actually for this. I even bought an inventory slot for it. Obviously, it's just a default Vault, but slightly recolored. Because I like doing this kind of fashion, just taking a frames-based design and just making colors pop a little bit more. That's what I've done here. I've taken the kind of... What is this blue? The blue, which is his main color, I've taken that and made it a little bit brighter, basically. That's pretty much what I've done. But the thing is, you can't even say his 4 is helping with condition overload because it doesn't apply electricity.
Your will was greater. This is good.
I'm considering, rerunning with Dagger, but running a weapons build instead of cavalry. So there's a bunch of potential advantages and disadvantages to doing that. Dagger. Also, just for reference, right now, for the tier list, I have Gauss in number 1 on his own tier. Zaku, Dagoth, Calervo, Corva, Saren, Sevagoth, Jade, Protea, Jaya, Wisp, Neza, Zephyr, Citrine, Mesa. That's the top 2. Frost, Inaros, Mirage, Octavia. Now, I do get how putting Octavia down there might feel weird. Point is that Frost, Inaros, and Mirage, they have more freedom of mobility. Octavia has to wait for enemies to get to her mallet. Whereas those frames can just output their damage wherever they want. which is why I put them above Octavia. Varuna, Revenant, Corvex, Gara, Nova. The thing about Nova is she's a really high... she's a utility frame. So it's problematic, her placement. It's really difficult. Because her utility is often actually detriment. Nova's utility is in her 4, and her 4 can actually be an inconvenience. It can lower your KPM. It boosts your damage output, and it's sure it's really good for like defense and stuff, but if you use it in a survival mission, you might fucking kill yourself, basically. But yeah, so run this build, but with... I don't want Strun, I want a beam weapon, I think. But I don't know what beam weapon to take. Should I just pick Torrid? Fuck it, let's just go Torrid. Banger. Oh man. I've been watching Mactix playthrough of Warframe. It's really fun to watch. It is so fun to watch a new player experience Warframe for the first time. Yeah, so we're gonna retest Dagoth here, but I'm going to try. Thing is, like, my impulse might just take over, and I might just start using Akali's cavalry anyway. But I'm going to try to focus on just using Torrid.
The canvas of war.
Now, the interesting thing here to consider is that we actually lose the passive, like, crit bonus, don't we? Of our 3. I assume with the augment we now get the crit damage bonus whilst we're in the invulnerability phase. Instead of when we would normally get it, which would usually be literally 24/7. But we are still going to be having Doom and stuff do stuff for us. But I'm expecting this to have equal performance to Cavalry, honestly. I'm thinking it's probably going to be just as good. Maybe slightly better, maybe slightly worse. It's going to depend on the circumstance, I think. Because, like, Rakali's Cavalry, if you have a perfect scenario for it, it's fucking OP as shit. That thing, Rakali's Cavalry is basically... It feels like a Fenmore. Because Fenmore is kind of known as the corridor clearing weapon, also Felarx. It's basically like Felarx or Fenmore on fucking steroids. But with a cast animation, pretty much.
Life support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Also, I think, differently to last time, we're now running Nautilus. This seems like it could be a good spot. Oh, for fuck's sake, back here again. Okay. The problem I see about this is we're still having to spam Doom. So I didn't see, like, why do this over just spamming Cavalry? Kind of feels like more effort and less fun. Just to kind of get the same result. Well, we will see. Maybe it's stronger. Also, not to mention worse survivability. That's a factor. I suppose the energy economy is not as much of a concern, but I mean that's part of the point of this augment, that you basically have unlimited energy. Also, for the duration of your free, you can just forget about your 2. These enemies on the upper level here fucking power KPM. I still feel like we're doing pretty good. We are not doing pretty good. I still see so many people saying, "Oh yeah, don't run Rakali's Cavalry, run and gun build." No, run Rakali's Cavalry is better. I am more than open to it. I don't have anything against. I'm not trying to make anti-fucking gun build fucking propaganda. It's not as good. Also, unlike Rakali's Cavalry, we are actually taking some damage there. We could have died there. We took some health damage. If there was a beefier enemy, we could have died. We are leaving at 5 minutes. I don't care to take this any further. I'll just say I'm not having nearly as much fun with this. And part of the reason why is because I'm having to press more buttons on the controller than last time. When you're just running the nuke build, that's why spam casters typically have really high ability damage. You don't want to be spamming. Let me get out of your. Thank you. You'll notice is that any frame which requires you to spam the fuck out of abilities is an ability nuker, which almost would seem like no shit Sherlock, but I think the actual gameplay reason for that is because having to switch between. What I'm having to do here is I'm having to let me list the fucking buttons I'm having to hold, right? I'm left stick and right stick with my thumbs, right, as usual. That's standard, of course. You're doing that all the time. right bumper, X square. I mean right bumper plus all of its fucking buttons on the left. I'm having to use left bumper to roll and slide. I'm having to use left trigger to aim, and I'm also having to use right trigger shoot. I'm literally using every single button on my controller at the same time. Yeah, every single button on my controller at the same time, just to receive a mediocre. I didn't even check the KPM. 5 minutes, 511 kills. Like, not bad KPM. I think the nuke build was better, and it was easier to play, and it was more survivable. I don't see why people say just use running gun dagger. I think running Rakali's cavalry is just better. Right, other frames I want to test. Corvex. Corvex is a fucky issue because sometimes he's OP as shit and sometimes he's really weak. Depends on a lot of factors. I'm also a little bit tempted to test Nezha because the reason why I put him so high is because of his new augment, which recently got nerfed. Let's do Corvex for now. This doesn't use the augment. This does. Should I use the augment?
Ordis is angry. I may require maintenance after all.
Oh, this is. I can already see some problems going on here. I'm gonna try with the augment, I think.
Ready to kick.
Bottom.
I don't care enough to really try. I don't want to be here testing for hours upon hours upon hours. I don't get paid to do this shit. Unfortunately, people that do don't care. I've seen some people recently promote Nightmare Frame. I have not watched Nightmare Frame in a while. I have not. But as far as I'm aware, he's still fucking as toxic as he's ever been. He can be really informative at times. I mean, that's the thing. I can respect him. Sometimes he's really informative, but other times he spreads outright bullshit. It was people like him. I could directly blame him, quite frankly, for the Grendel nerf, which is the greatest nerf in Warframe history, which he praised as a fucking buff, because he had no clue what he's talking about in regards to Grendel. So, I mean, sure, he has made some good builds, but he's also gutted at least one frame's kit, or advocated for the gutting of one frame's kit. So is it really worth the cost? Now Corvex is problematic because he's one of the frames where, sure, you can have a frame relying on enemy density, but Corvex relies on enemy density. Volt, his 4 is tied to enemy density, but without that, you still have a damage booster from his 3 to buff you. You still have all the boosts his 2 gives. You still have his passive, albeit his passive isn't great. Volt still has tools if you take away his enemy density scaling. Corvex doesn't. Corvex's entire kit relies on enemy density. Which I'm predicting is his problem. That's what I felt was his problem before when I first tested him.
They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
And as a result, Corvex either feels incredibly OP or extremely weak. Alright, here we go. We have the best room in the game to test him in. Right? If he cannot perform well in this room, he's not going to perform well in any room. This is the best room in the game. don't see this augment getting a whole lot of use. As long as we can use it literally once every minute, then it does refresh. So that's good. I can manage once a minute.
I delivered a life support capsule to the area.
Initially, when I read the augment, I thought the empowered state of 32 was going to be the empowered state of his 4, which in that case would be really powerful. It's not. It's the standard empowered case, which sucks. So there's two forms of empowered versions of his pillars. It's the first one is whether they're hit by his 2, and the second one is when they're hit by his 4. The one triggered by your 2 is useless. It does pretty much nothing for you. The one caused by your 4, however, is where most of your damage comes from. Let's call that. Okay, something I am wondering about here, though. Let me need to replace these a little bit. I might have fucked our KPM a little bit for a couple of seconds.
Prepare for life support.
Right there, that's just because I want these two in a direct straight line from each other. I'm using every tap here, first of all for priming, but also so that Nautilus triggers more often. I feel like containment walls should maybe cast faster, like walls should close quicker.
You want to hit those high notes? You gotta mean it.
Right, we're at 3 minutes in. 390 kills, okay. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that's extremely respectable. I was not expecting that. But we are actually starting to take some damage. I wish what his augment did was if the empowered form of his 4 was active at the time that you used the 2, then it would refresh hold here. Then it would also refresh that. Like, that could be OP, but the duration of that empowered form is already so short, I don't feel like that'd be OP. Oh, that Acolyte's just fucking gone. Alright. Alright.
Keep up the good work. When you need it, extraction is ready.
Right, so 5 minutes. 611 kills. We can safely say he's at about 120 KPM. Which would put him around the top tier. Where did I have him? I think I had him at like B tier. But again, of course, his problem is enemy density. If we had a worse room, we would not be seeing nearly as good results. So that doesn't be kept in mind. He's definitely a frame that is very reliant on rooms, because he's a he has line of sight restrictions. So that's the thing. He's relying on enemy path finding to him, and he's relying on what room you get, which is also part of that. So he is heavily reliant on what room you get. We got the best room in the game there. So do keep in mind, that's his best performance. You're never going to get him to perform any better than he did right there. I already had him in A tier. Alright then. How do I feel about his placement? He's above Rune. I'll place him above Rune. Should I place him above Octavia as well? Okay, fuck it. Let's test Octavia. Again, Octavia is also going to be pretty room reliant because she's relying on enemy finding as well.
Operator, Ordis has determined the secrets to happiness. A combination of heightened dopamine levels and a terrible memory. You're welcome!
Alright, yeah, this build is good. I wish I could have better continuity, could I? There we go. Okay, that's an improvement. Octavia did make some good quality of life changes for the game as a whole. How do I check Manticore? Okay, it's been maxed. Okay. Octavia actually got some good quality of life features to be added to the game. For example, fast crouching. Crouching used to take way longer. But due to people complaining about Octavia's metronome, they actually buffed crouching. And Octavia was one of the first frames that really had direct enemy level scaling, which is ultimately a good thing for a game. I'm not particularly like a big fan of
Your weapons make music.
I think they should. I think the game is too easy for newer players now. Negative power efficiency, right? If you have positive power efficiency, then of course it's actually worth it to throw down your mallet just to get bonus energy regen. But because I have blind rage on, it's actually better for me to just wait like normal.
They have just shut down all
Also, again,
systems.
something which has to be addressed is the fact that Octavia's base kit has Resonator in it, which is actively really bad. Do not use Metronome. No, don't use Resonator on Octavia, because it will gut your damage output. Right, we're going to leave them to that. We need to find a better room.
Life support on the way.
This is unconventional terrain, so I feel like I should allocate some pity credit for this. When we like compare Vit's performance to how Mag performs in this room. About 1 minute, 102
I
kills.
delivered a life support capsule to the area.
Of course, we're not actually at 1 minute, we're at 1.5. And the frame which only performs in one very specific setup is not a good frame. This works. Okay, we can make this work. Here. And here. Now we're just going to have to wait for the enemies to actually make their way here. I think I've quite frankly already somewhat proved my point.
life support incoming. Another life support capsule is now available.
Not to mention, invisibility is not as good as immortality. In fact, it's significantly worse. Its invisibility fucks with enemy aggro, which therefore fucks with KPM.
Life support has been
But it
replenished.
also doesn't actually make you immortal, so you're still vulnerable to getting hit by AoE effects, as you saw that our shield got depleted. One more hit would have killed us. Now here we will go for 6 minutes to make up for that lull in KPM. Now I only count it as 5 minutes, I think, due to that relocation. Otherwise it'd be unfair comparison.
Get ready for a capsule.
So, I mean, sure, Dagoth does suffer from, like, elevation and shit. Like, was Dagoth suffering anywhere near as much? I don't think so.
Additional life support has arrived.
In this right here, a big wide room, which is what you really want for Octavia, still isn't working on that well.
The raid is off to a successful start.
Is we keep going to 6 minutes just to see how KPM really is. So back when Octavia first released, you would never dream of saying, yeah, I think Octavia needs a buff. And I'm not going to say Octavia needs a buff, but I do think Octavia needs something, quite frankly. I mean, it's not an unpopular opinion that Octavia's not fun to play. It's never been a popular opinion. But I've always disagreed with Quiet Shy saying that her visuals suck. I think visually she's one of the coolest trained. Alright, 6 minutes. Oh, oh, that's fucking awful. That's really bad. That is so bad. 6 minutes, 426 kills. Of course, I'm being generous here. Alright, okay. If we say 5 minutes, 426 kills, it's still less than 100. Okay, if we're saying over 5 minutes, that's 85 kills per minute. That's if we're saying, if I'm applying my generosity and saying it's 5 minutes. At 6 minutes, so even with the generosity I've given it, it's still like average or even below average at this point. You'd do better literally by slapping on any frame and just going ham with Strun. 426 divided by 6 is 71 kills per minute, which is just outright bad. Yeah, so I'm demoting Octavia. I'm gonna have to demote her all the way down to fucking B tier. Am I going to put Ureli above Octavia? I might. I'm genuinely actually feeling tempted to. I'm going to move Mag up, Wukong down. Honestly, I wish I just didn't even have to tier Wukong. I think he's so fucking boring. So stupidly basic and obnoxious, but I just want to fucking... I don't want him in the game anymore. I'm so sick of him. I love his design, and that's it. I don't know. Once upon a time I liked Wukong, but something about him now just pisses me off. Should I just Steinax? I could. Steinax is another frame who's will be affected by... Every frame in the game is affected by runes, but some are more so than others. So I would definitely say Steinax is, due to the line of sight restriction on his 4. And his 1. So let's test Steinax.
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and
Cut down the...
and make the Lotus proud.
Right. So I think people would agree this is a good build. We could maybe do the... Do we need Rolling Guard? That's a big question. I need more yellow Archon shards. I have so many fucking Azure ones. I need more of these. Casting speed is just so fucking good. I want more casting speed for Zaku. That's the thing, casting speed is actually really important on Zaku. Just casting speed on Zaku translates into power duration. Like a big amount of power duration, actually. Anyway, so let's go with this Steinax. Yeah. Also, of course, keep in mind, we're using Nautilus here, which means less damage boosting than Doriga, but more grouping, which means we should be getting a higher KPM. We should be.
These foes deserve...
And actually, keep in mind, for some of our earlier frames testing, I was using Doriga instead for Dagger from that. So actually, those previous estimations should actually be even higher. Volt. Where have I put Volt? I put Volt directly below Grendel. Larvae should go above Equinox. Should I put Larvae above Octavia? Does that work? I don't know. Larvae can do good damn work. He's clunky. Didn't mean to actually complete that.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Alright, we already got a decent room. Not great. Now, the best room of the game is especially good for him. Ooh, that's... Ooh. Okay, let's try to keep things in line. If possible. Look, Steinax is a good framework relocating. At first I thought people complaining about the Steinax nerf were kind of dumb. I definitely do get that complaint nowadays, right? I do see how removing the ability to use the shield during his fall definitely was a nerf, which he didn't need. He's not overpowered, nor is he. But yeah, it was just unneeded. I do feel like there's a warframe issue with Darth Muffin, and also there's Rahatelius, of course. God, Rahatelius.
Prepare for life support.
Nightmare is bad, but at least he's not Rahatelius. Riot's Helios, man, I don't get how it took us years to expunge into the Warframe community. But he was so fucking toxic.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy him more time.
I'm already starting to like realise a bunch of problems. Some of which are a result of the room we're in, but also some of which are just problems resulting from Steinhax. We do not need Rolling Guard. We are A-okay without it. We're losing life support. Also, there's a point of anti-synergy between his 1 and 4, because of the way his 4 registers line of sight.
Life support on the way.
But like, if you clump enemies up into all of your 1, then your 4 actually doesn't hit all of them. This isn't great. I think I'm going to have to demote him. Actually, looking now at life support right now. It's not going well. But what else, like, Darth Muffin? He's a guy who, like, constantly nitpicks tiny issues and then just endlessly bitches about the game. And I know if it's per se toxic, but it's really fucking obnoxious, just whenever one of his posts appears in your feed, it's like, I was having a good day. There's a lot of people, like Rahatelis, who think that just because one frame is, like, mistreated, then the entire fucking game sucks. I mean, multiple frames are mistreated, but every frame can work. Every single one. Like, sure, Steinax isn't doing super well in this situation right here, but if you brought him to a lower level mission, or into, say, an interception mission, he'd be doing great. Survival isn't the only mission type that exists. Like, that's the thing, I remember Riot Helios used to be so fucking angry that Vauban was bad. And it was like, I suppose you can be angry, yeah, but there are 50 fucking Warframes. You're literally complaining about 2% of the game and acting like it invalidates the other 98%. Shut the fuck up. That's the thing, thanks to the Helmin, it's not an excuse for like poor game design, but you can't say that like a Warframe can't perform well. Even a Warframe as dog shit as Ureli, even on her release, could still do work. I think like in a good room, Ureli can do fucking amazing work actually. All you need is just good enemy pathfinding so they can pathfind into whatever secondary you're using.
The raid is off to a successful start.
Alright, fine.
Extractions ready.
If you're going to get them to pathfind well and you have a good secondary for it, Ureli's fucking busted. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. 5 minutes, 400 kills. That's not great. That's more than 5 minutes. It's less than 80 kpm. Not good for Steinax, he's going to have to eat a demotion. Another thing is, like, you take frames to, like, as the slight counter is what I just said. There are other mission roles. The reason why we test in survival is because survival is the ultimate testing ground. It's the hardest location, but also if something is good in survival, it's going to be good everywhere else. Something can be bad in survival and good in other places, but if something is good in survival, it will be good in any situation you can bring it to. Because this is Warframe. Killing matters more than anything else. Yeah, that's not good for Stynax. He was in... Was it A tier? Yeah, you're getting moved down, buddy. Probably still above Ash. Is he above Necros? Necros can put in work. Necros can put in good work. Was he better than Octavia? I'd say he's better than Octavia. Yeah, Grendel's still better. Okay, yes. Now it's starting to make a little bit more sense of... Things are starting to line up a little bit more compared to my past testing. The current tier list is as follows, starting from the very bottom. Trinity, Loki, Harrow, Nyx. D tier, Limbo, Oberon, Banshee. F tier was Nyx, but Trinity, blah blah blah. D tier, Limbo, Oberon, Banshee, Chroma, Valkyria, Titania. C tier, I've seen Titania get really high ratings at times. I don't get it. C tier, Atlas, Excalibur, Ivara, Vorban, Rhino, Caliban. B tier, Hildren, Equinox, Lavos, Nidus, Ash, Necros, Octavia, Stynax, Baruch, Ureli. I'm gonna have to test Ureli because that's gonna be really controversial. Volt, Grendel. A tier, Hydroid, Wukong, Mag, Garuda. That's right. Dante, Ember. Should Dante be ahead of Ember? No, I don't think so. I think that's a good spot. Nova's a really difficult frame to place, of course, but I feel like this is an okay spot for her. Maybe I should move up to S just for a utility. I'll move up to S for a utility. She's just a really good frame to just run basically any situation. Ember, Gara, Revenant, Varuna, Corvex, Mirage, Inaros, Frost. Nova, S tier. Nova, Mesa. Mesa doesn't scale as well as other frames, but she's just so good and so comfortable and everywhere else that you have to put her in S tier. She just automatically gets it pretty much. Nova, Mesa, Citrine. Citrine isn't the best DPS, but she brings so much support value to a team. It's crazy. 90% damage reduction, lots of health orbs, health over time, just passively, energy orbs, status priming, general CC, if you bother to use her, awful fourth, bonus crit chance. She's just fucking brilliant, Citrine is. Zephyr gets it because she's basically immortal and she has an infinitely scaling nuke with her 1 augment. Nezza, because of his 4 augment which recently released. Wisp, because again, insanely powerful support. Jaya, Protea, Jade, Sevagoth, Saren. Okay, Sevagoth's back in the right spot. Saren, Korra. I'm gonna move down Korra. That feels more right. Okay, Wisp, Korra, Jaya, Protea, Jade, Sevagoth, Saren, Kalervo, Dagoth, Zaku, Gauss. Fuck, I moved another frame again. What just happened? Why does Tier Maker like us? I think I moved Sevagoth up. Okay, yeah, Sevagoth stays down there. Right. Saren gets that high of a spot solely because of Sobek. So the Sobek build. Sobek is fucking crazy. And to prove it, let's go test it. This is fucking busted. This is so stupid.
If I may say, operator, your
I love
chosen
this gun.
warframe suits you.
So I should check my build. Thing is, nowadays for almost any frame of a game, you can fix any survivability problems they have, which is Seren's biggest problem: survivability. Literally just slap on Resonator. As long as they have at least positive range, Resonator will just fix their survivability. You can also just slap on Doriga, or just any good like crowd control with Sentinel. Survivability is nowhere near as valuable as it used to be now. There's so many ways to achieve it. That's why Rhino is really far down.
Your weapons make
Because nowadays, pretty much the only thing Rhino has in his kit is Roar. Which is cool, but other frames have just as good, if not better, damage boosters. And, you know, Roar is also subsumable. Which, again, I only kind of like give half credit for that, because, of course, should we count Helmet Fire? Yeah. But, I mean, it is there. I can't deny it. Like, I think that if we can't count Helmet, then we also shouldn't really count Arcanes. And if we don't count Arcanes, a lot of Warframes just get fucking nuked off the map. Immediately. Because Arcanes unlock a lot. Like, a lot. Like, Arcane Energize is so huge. Again, back in my day, back in fucking 2016, 2017, Arcanes were way harder to get. Way harder.
I'm sending auxiliary life support.
It's begun. Our damage will improve dramatically over the course of the mission, thanks to Augmented. It does depend on rooms a little bit here, but of course this can spread through hundreds of
Life
meters.
support on the way.
As you can see, all the enemies up there just got wiped out. Look, there's people getting damaged over there. So goofy. It's actually a problem. This build is so lethal that enemies die too far away for you to get life support from, which is funny. I love it when a build is so powerful that it actually is a detriment to you. This is a little bit of a dangerous spot, though. This is not the best spot to be in. Admittedly. Pop. Okay. How long are we in? 278, and we're not even in 2 minutes yet. But this is just busted. Now that's the thing, this is literally built using one specific weapon with one specific mod, but you just can't deny how overpowered as fuck this is. This is just fucking crazy. And again, this is not great performance right now, this is underperforming. I wouldn't say this room setup we have is good. So with the right rooms, this can literally spawn cap enemies. That's crazy. There's no other setup in Warframe which does spawn cap. But this does it. Look how long we've had our spores going.
Tenno, prepare for life support.
This mission, of course, this is great against every faction because Seren gets both corrosive and toxic damage. As of course, certain frames are bad against certain factions. Also, it doesn't even struggle against, say, infested disruptors. So most of the damage is coming from weapons. here. Seren's ability damage is just a supplement. As you can see, we don't even have that many enemies infected with our spores. Like, with this build, I mainly use the abilities actually just gain, like, iframes. Like, Miasma, I think it stuns enemies. So Miasma is good for getting a little bit of a breathing room if your shields go down. DE knew what they were doing when they added in Kuva Sobek. They knew they were about to break the game. So one downside to this before was that the Sobek sucked and was like an awful weapon. They're gonna... oh shit. Well, that's because of the Acolyte. Awful TV show. Oh fuck, we might actually die here. Hey, we're fine. Alright, that's a little slight loss in KPM, but it's fine. We're right back at it. Yeah, the one downside to this build before was that it used an awful weapon. But now with Kuva Sobek exists, now it uses a pretty damn high tier weapon. Like, using the regular Sobek, a lot of these kills I'm getting here wouldn't happen. Previously with the regular Sobek, you had to target trash mobs, because otherwise you just wouldn't get the kill fast enough for this to be really good. But now, you can fucking kill anything with this. Not to mention, just like, you stack so many dots anyway, but like, who cares?
This will help our cause. When we need it, extraction is ready.
One problem is I think you can make this work without Raw, but it definitely won't be quite as good. But actually, you could arguably be better, because with Raw the kills would be slower, and then the spawn camping part of it would actually be easier to get. So right here, part of the problem is enemies die so fast they don't actually get a chance to spread the infection. Needless to say, this is the best thing we've tested so far. So yeah, for that, Seren gets an incredibly high spot on the tier list.
Another life support capsule.
Does that
is
build
now available.
outperform Gauss? I think so. It depends on circumstances, and sometimes it will outperform, sometimes it won't. For that, and the fact that, of course, it's not Did I move Jada on accident? I think I moved Jada on accident. Yeah, but because of that, and the fact that it's using one specific setup, I can't give her too much credit for it, so she doesn't get quite top spot. But I still put her in, what was that, top 5? Yeah, I put her as fourth best frame in the game. I think that's fair. Okay. It's time. Let's test you early. I often struggle with what weapon to actually use with you early. There's a lot of options, but I want the best one. We run Toxist. We could probably actually run Toxist.
Operator, your chosen warframe suits you. Ha ha.
Since she will be stunning enemies for us. Check the build. Loyal Merilina. You absolutely can see Loyal Merulina as a downgrade. Absolutely can. Because Ureli's best situation is usually using Merulina to stick to a ceiling of a room. So you basically can't be hurt and just raining down fire. But we're going to try to use Toxicist here. It's been a little while. Hopefully it goes well.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
Well, so yeah, we released Ureli Deluxe. I'm not a fan of it. Ureli has one of the best fashions in the game already, and I don't feel like Ureli Deluxe did a service. I think it's kind of bad. I do feel like I've been looking at my Instagram analytics. I know I actually get hundreds of people looking at my posts. It's just because a minority of people engage with them. I feel like if I put Ureli above Octavia, even if I'm correct, which I think I will be, I'm really starting to think, I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I'm starting to really think Ureli might be better than Octavia in modern day. I have a feeling I'm going to get clowned on for even suggesting that by people that, don't actually play the game.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Alright. Oh god, we're gonna have to. Okay, we're gonna have to reset the Incarnon very often to its fire rate. That's unfortunate. Well, people also seem to forget nowadays how powerful Ureli's core actually is. You can run Ureli as a melee thing if you want to. I really should probably get the Angstrom Incarnon. I feel like that'd be really good for her, but I can't be bothered. I went so hard on Duviri, but I think I'm all Duviri'd out.
Delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Do I have Arcane Velocity on? That would explain something. So this fire rate feels absurdly high. Or it might just be that the ammo is not very good. I'm not keeping an eye on it, that's way too much to keep an eye on. Give me a headshot, come on. Because I could have just ran in its Cyclone. Or Kuva Nuke, or sacrifice some damage for comfort. This is making it interesting, but yeah, those number of shots to get the Incarnon back up doesn't necessarily feel the best. I feel like I should maybe remove a fire rate mod off this. It eats through the Incarnon so fast. So far, I definitely feel better in Octavia. I'm having more fun. Am I getting better numbers? I'm not sure, to be honest. We're either gonna have way better numbers than I'm expecting, or tragically low numbers. Really went down? Merlin, I mean. Almost, I kind of feel like Uveli's 4 should accumulate damage just like Mag's bubble. That makes sense to me. Now again here, this is a weapon platform frame. How much credit do I give to a weapon? How much do I give to a frame?
Our operative is making progress.
Alright, 5 minutes. Yes. So this is both a testament to how just slapping on whatever the fuck you feel like, just as long as you have a good gun, you can still get a really good KPM. This is both a testament to that, and it's also a testament to how underrated Ureli is. Where is Ureli? So where was she right now? Below Volt and Grendel, below Hydroid. Okay. Controversial placement. I'm lifting her out of B tier and up into A tier. I'm actually going to move Hydroid and Wukong back down. Wukong go below Volt, actually. I don't feel like testing Hydroid again, because Hydroid pisses me the fuck off. I do not like playing with them. So, yeah, fuck it, I am going to place Reli there. This is not just toxicity good. There are probably better weapon options. We've had slow moments. Every time the Incarnate runs out, we have to go refresh it, which takes a little bit. We could absolutely get better weapons. The Angstrom might be better. Well, that's the thing, Uveli's kit basically is just her passive. But again, her other abilities are underrated. Merilina is 3 CC, 3 damage reduction. And if you don't use the augment, 3 mobility. Her 1 is awful. Only use her 1 if you're using the augment for her 2. Her 3 is not there to be a damage ability, it's there for extra CC. It's kind of like Mesa's 3. It's for survivability, actually. Whilst her 4 is like for Vauban's 4.
Offerings are pure.
And actually pretty good. Yeah, so Uveli, I'm actually going to move up to A tier. No, actually, I think I'm going to move Gara down. So I feel like Gara doesn't scale well against armor. What other frames should I test? Inaros? I think I should test Inaros. We're gonna run him in a melee setup.
Saddle up.
Arcane Blessing. Oh, is this a good... Oh, I don't know if this is a good build. It's actually been a while since I played reworked Inari, so I need to refresh myself in this kit. Hold up, is he still using Legion? Oh, he's still using Legion! Legion has me forgotten. I really want a Legion Prime. I'm so disappointed that he didn't get Legion Prime with his Prime Access. What did he get? He got Panthera and was it a Sentinel? I know running with Finisher is a good idea. An Arcane Blessing instead of instead of Arcane Rage. We can try this. Because everyone says he's cracked OP now. They still haven't fixed his fucking Prime fashion. Oh my god, the...
So much as reload.
Oh, Arcane Strike. Thanks, D. Oh fuck, actually. Actually, no, it's fine. We'll run with Strun. I could have ran Argonac for Argonac Metal Auger. But yeah, do keep in mind also there for Ureli, like I said, you could totally use a melee setup on her as well. You won't get the benefit from her passive, but you'll still get the utility of her 3, 2, and her 4, grouping enemies up for you. In which case, she's basically a better Vauban still. Where do I have Vauban? Vauban gets a kind of low spot for me just because how fucking boring he is. He's not bad. Absolutely not. He's just so fucking boring. I am trying to factor in, like, fun as well. Just tier list. I don't want to sacrifice strength for fun or anything, but I do want to at least consider it. And so for that, Vauban gets fucking nothing. Because Vauban's by far the most boring frame in the game. He is repulsive to play. Poor Excalibur and C tier, man. Maybe we should test Excalibur. There's also Atlas. I don't know if I can be bothered to test Atlas. I feel quite comfortable in saying Atlas would just be a worse Excalibur. And kit-wise, they are similar.
Life support
Actually.
has been cut off. They're trying
Atlas
to
deals
choke
damage
you out.
via landslide,
Hold
whereas
on.
Excalibur has a
I'm
slash
sending
dash.
auxiliary life support.
Ouch. Where's my Incarnum? There we go. The Incarnum bar was appearing. The thing is, with Inaros, although he doesn't necessarily have to use a melee, he kind of lends himself to a melee with how Sandstorm works, doesn't he? Which I also will admit is the same for Ureli, like you want to use her as a secondary. You can use her as something else if you want to, but she is supposed to be used as a secondary and it shows. Kind of looking to see like what are people have said that Inaros busted after his rework. looking to see what exactly is the reason for it.
Capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more
So far, I'm not particularly impressed. Bear in mind, I'm using the best melee in the game here. So if the best melee in the game can't do particularly well with it, then that's a solid D8. I miss Legion. Really should have some heavy efficiency. Also, I just realised you don't have to decast Sandstorm, you can just melee straight out of it. Which is cool.
life support incoming.
Survivability is not a problem so far. Also, of course, the thing is, you cannot get the full scope of a frame in 5 minutes like I'm doing. But again, it's fucking 50 of them. I'm not getting paid for this. If I was getting paid for this, I'd feel a lot more willing
Capsule is
to go through and test every single frame. But like, I do not like every single frame of the game, necessarily. Actually, I don't know. We'll see. But you know, it just takes fucking ages. 5 minutes in every frame, and there's 50 of them. That's still hours. That's 5 minutes. Realistically, to test every frame, I should be taking 2 hours into survival. And I should be factoring in other things as well, like their support capabilities, which you can't get in a solo mission. So it takes more than several hours of testing to truly get the most accurate results. No one is doing that. Not even the guys that fucking play Warframe literally as their job. Right? So give me a fucking break. Also, this whole time I haven't even been using our melee jumping damage boost. Ouch. Nicholas fucking died.
Our operative is making progress.
You're tanking
This will
pretty well.
help our cause. Extraction is available if you need it.
Alright, about 5 minutes, 479 kpm. Where have I put him? Best mode in the game again, don't forget. Yeah, demote. Demote you from that. Are you better than Revenant? Okay, put you down here. I would definitely still say ability nuke is armor meta. Am I right to have Frost that high? Okay, let's test Frost again. It'd be really sad if I feel I do need to demote Frost, because Frost is one of my favourite frames, but if I have to, I'm willing to. So I'm very willing to shit-talk a frame I like. Very willing to.
What you have learned here will serve you well.
So Frost does need work, I'm willing to say it. Also Mirage, like, should Mirage be that high? I don't know. But again, should I test every single fucking frame? So I almost feel like I'm getting close to that now. I've tested quite a lot. I'm pretty sure I've tested like more than 10. Alright, Frost. My baby boy. I've loved you so long. Don't let me down. I personally think the Frost rework they did a little while ago was actually a bit of a nerf. So they nerfed this augment. They buffed Cold as a status effect. And they buffed Snow Globe, but they nerfed this augment. Armor to Overguard wait, what the fuck? What? What's that? Overguard increases by 20% of your armor once per enemy. When was that added? That was not always there. What the fuck? I'm not quite sure if I understand what that means. Is that just like... Does that mean if I strip 3 enemies, it's going to basically double my Overguard gains? That's what it sounds like, and that sounds brilliant. Right now, Frost is a weapons platform. He's mainly a guns buffer. You don't want to use him as a melee buffer. To me, at least. Strun is a good weapon for him. Even better, though, is Velatron, if you can get it to work. Do I want to run Velatron, or do I want to run what I'm more comfortable with, which is the Strun? Or even just run Torrid.
Did the operator enjoy this witticism?
I might just run Torrid. Yeah, let's just run Torrid. It's funny how Torrid went from being the worst gun in the game to the best, huh? That's Baron Carnon. Is Frost really worthy of being the top of A tier? Is he worthy?
Your weapons make music, and the enemy calls for a song.
No, but basically any frame which gives Overguards to a team basically immediately power creeps Trinity. That's the thing. Trinity needs to it won't be hard to make Trinity good. I want Trinity to be a damage dealer who scales her damage with her healing and to have her apply Overguards to a team. Harrow, I'm not sure what to do with him. His immortality buff is not nearly as valuable as it used to be. Back when that first released, shield gating didn't exist. Right, just to put that in perspective. Right, a lot has changed since Harrow's kit was first made, and his kit has not been changed at all. I feel like for Harrow, you should maybe just remove the whole damage requirement from his 4, and make it so that the damage buff part of it is just always active for the whole thing. Make it function like Dagger's augment. So that instead of being a buff after the ability, you get the buff during the ability, and then it goes on cooldown, and that cooldown reduces with how many kills you get. So basically, make it be like Dagger's augment, but for the whole team. There you go. There's an idea.
Life support has been cut off.
Because nowadays, it's just not as good of a buff
Hold on. I'm sending
as
auxiliary life support.
it should be a bigger buff for what it is, pretty much. I hate it when people say you don't need the red crit augment. I mean, they're right, you don't need it, but fucking look at this, bro. This is a really bad room, bro. We need to get out of here. This room is good for Corvettes and Saren and no one else. We need to find a better room. Because this will gut our KPM otherwise. Or maybe we can get by if we stay on the lower floor here. But our range is too big. We'll be freezing enemies on the upper floor.
Delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Because right now it feels really good, but I'm realizing I'm not fighting massive crowds here because of a fucking room that we're in, preventing that from happening. We've got a really bad room. I'm considering quitting, actually, so we can get a better room. But people that say Frost is bad in modern day don't know what they're talking about. Because, like, this is fucking crazy. Okay, 2.5 minutes, 290 kills.
Get ready for a capsule.
I wish we had a little bit better status application so that Nautilus could do some more work for us right now. Because that's really important to success in this room. If we didn't have Nautilus, we would be doing pretty badly right now, I feel like. So this room's just really bad. It's so big, and of course 2 floors, which is really bad for weapon platforms and certain ability neuters. Not bad for Saren though, because of how the Sobex explosion works. Of course, keep in mind during all of this, I'm also supporting the entire team. So my buff applies to the entire team, like Foster's armor stripping enemies. Frost applies debuffs. Debuffs are really valuable because they apply to the entire team without inconveniencing anyone. Losing a little bit of life support. So do bear in mind, right now we're in one of the worst rooms in the game for this frame, potentially. Also, of course, we are naturally supporting the entire team through our overguard buffing as well. Which also means Nautilus is never going to die. That's the other thing people don't consider about overguard buffing, is it buffs your companions as well. So we're getting massive clusters of enemies like that, which is just taking up the enemy spawn count without actually benefiting our kill count, which is really unfortunate. And so that's hurting our KPM. Hold up. Right, there you go. Now let's count it. It's 5 minutes. Okay, even with this restriction, even with this being one of the worst rooms we could have gotten, we still had a really good performance. So in that case, I think I'm happy to keep Frost where he was. I'm happy. And do keep in mind, again, this is not the Torrid doing this work. I absolutely do attribute this success to Frost. We could get this kind of success with any kind of beam weapon. Torrid is the best, but we're one-shotting everything, right? So even if our damage was cut in half, we would still be one-shotting everything with this build. So like a Galaxian Vandal will probably perform just as well. You could use a rocket launcher and get just as good results. You don't need to worry about prime short-footed or your knockback, because you have Overguard, which is also another wonderful thing about Overguard. The status immunity, don't forget. So, quite frankly, I'm considering moving Frost up. Okay, I'm gonna move Frost up, and I'm gonna move Mesa down to top of 8 here, just because like she doesn't have the best scaling. Maybe we should take... Yeah, okay, let's take Mesa. The problem I feel with Mesa is that her regulators are not the best. I also accept my regulators build is not the best. I'm aware of that. But they're also not the best build. 37.5. Right. Okay, this does have equilibrium. I don't know about this build. Go on Poindexter, that's a build for a 1, isn't it? Yeah. Now, if the arm stripping is very important, we need to factor in that is not base kit.
I've been thinking.
Fuck it, yeah, I think we can run this. I think we can run this. So yeah, let's see how Mesa works. Mesa has no direct scaling. No direct scaling. She doesn't scale with enemy level, enemy armor, or anything. The only scaling she has is just how much damage she does.
Combat must be practiced.
That's good enough to run her through any Star Chart mission,
Of war.
but how good is it for Steel Path? You'll have to see. You know what, actually, I'm already anticipating she's going to perform a little bit better than I'm expecting. I'm going to move her back up to S tier, right at the very bottom of S tier. Problem is, S tier often ends up being the biggest fucking tier. And again, that's just a testament to how well this game is actually balanced now. Or at least well balanced in the sense that every frame is good. You can argue that maybe we have some problems right now. I do think we do.
I'm sending life
The
support
fact that the game is so heavily focused on dealing damage is partially because of DE seemingly not liking us having having crowd control. I see some people not liking it when Mesa's cursor gets really small like that. Cursor. But the thing is, of course, that massively boosts your damage as well. So... this is a good room for her. Oh wow, you can already see, yeah, that armor strip helped us a lot. Should I buff Dante up just for his support capabilities? I think the only support he has is a slight damage booster to the team, thanks to his book and his the status vulnerability thing. That's the buffing he brings, and then obviously he brings Overguard. And he is not the best Overguarder. Fucking Frost and Steinax, I would say, are better at it now, post nerf. I feel like they de-jerked nerfed him too hard, and they made him into a jack of all trades, master of none. Which is a problem in Warframe, because Warframe really needs you to be a master of one of them. Just as how the game is designed. If you kill shit, you need to be the best at killing shit, otherwise you're not contributing anything. If you're supposed to be a support, you need to be the best at support, otherwise you're not contributing anything. And support is already not very valuable in Warframe, because anything can do anything. I don't need an energy support, because I have Xenovic and Energize. Also, quite frankly, I do not understand people who play Warframe co-op. I can't fucking stand it. I never play high-level content co-op, except for maybe like an Interception or an Argon Hunt. But like survival and co-op is fucking insufferable. I don't get people who play it, and that's not necessarily. That's not. I'm insulting people who play it right now, but it's DE's fault for how enemy spawns work. It's just not good in survival. I think you can clearly see her damage is not bad, even on a free pillage. Oh yeah, I've got even more games I want to play on my... I want to do playthrough stuff now. I want to play Darksiders 2. We are suffering from life support, which is interesting. The possible reasoning for that is just because we are actually killing enemies at quite a distance. We also might be out of KPM. I don't think we have a bad KPM. I think we are doing well. I don't want to look at the numbers really until we're at least a couple minutes in, so I don't want to get any confirmation bias. Whatever the results of this testing are, I want them to be genuine. I don't want to confirm my own biases. For frames which I don't like, if I can find a reason to like them and how they're strong, then that's fucking brilliant, then I've found a new frame to like. I just don't feel like testing Hydroid. I fucking hate it.
Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause.
Alright. 400... Oof. Okay.
When you need it, the
Okay.
extraction is ready.
This is with Helmut helping us damage-wise. I think I'm gonna move her down. Don't know by how much. She hasn't performed badly here. It's almost 100 kpm. Almost. Problem is, you'd get a better result just by slapping on a strun and just going ham. Doesn't matter what frame.
It is
Part of the
done.
point of Mesa though is just the ease with which she does it. And her survivability is pretty good. With her augment, you just get passive survivability, which is really satisfying. Right now, she's at the very bottom of S tier. I'm going to move her down to the very top of A tier. Oh, didn't Corvex perform like really fucking good? Should I move him up? Where he is? Also, Revenant, I'm going to move you down. Also, for Runa, move you down. Okay, so Mesa, her placement is less based on her KPM and more so just with the ease with which she does it. Because her actually gets the top of A tier, but looking at like actual damage output and kill count, she gets top of A tier. I can't be bothered to test Rhino. I fucking can't. I'm so sorry. I just hate it. Okay. I'm curious. How does Nova Slover actually perform? Because she's Slover, we can run Strun.
All set.
Would it be better to run Torrid? Let's run Strun. That's the thing with Nova. Incredible utility, but is she actually good in survival specifically? I know people run Disruption now for like level cap runs or something.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it.
There's no
Trust
point to do
in
level
your
cap runs
training.
other than to flex, so I don't care. I could do a level cap run if I wanted to, I just, don't feel like spending hours and hours in one mission. The longest survival I've ever done, I think, was like 3 hours. I've gone to level cap in Duviri, which is different, of course, but... I know you stand being the same mission for so long. What animation says this? Is this Gara? I think this is Gara. So how do you like this fashion? I really like this fashion. Actually, this kind of feels Metal Gear inspired, doesn't it? A little bit. The whole Grax skin theming is kind of Metal Gear-y. There's parts of Metal Gear, at least Metal Gear Ray, which kind of almost look fleshy. They have the same kind of texture as the brown parts of this. Not fleshy, but like leathery? I don't know. But I feel like maybe the Grax, whoever makes the Grax skins, is actually inspired by Metal Gear. Okay, let's go. What we're going to be doing here is
Shut down all systems.
this.
I'm sending life support.
So this is a
capsules your way.
slover right now, which means everything is going to get slow. Let's see how this goes for our KPM. Of course, I'm running gas on this weapon, because gas is better than blast on Strun. Something I really appreciate about the blast nerfs is the changes to status effects. Is that blast didn't suddenly become the best in slot or anything like that. Gas is still really good compared to blast. I'm not exactly sure what it is that makes a weapon better with either or, but I do know just from my testing, which I did quite a lot of, that Strun is better off with gas than blast. There's somewhere in the fucking maths of the status effect damage, but I don't know where it is.
Get ready for a
Quite funnily, I feel like this lends itself to a run and gun playstyle. which is, of course, not what you expect for Slover. Kind of the opposite. It's also going to result in that enemies being left behind, effectively. But if Slover can get a really good survival performance, that's just even more cred.
Activating it will buy you more time.
Problem with Speed Nova in survival is, of course, enemies become too lethal. And Nova does not have the survivability capabilities to fend them off if you're making them that fast. Also, of course, the other thing to mention, I do want a slight buff to gas. I want them to increase its damage a little bit, just a little bit, like 10% more damage. Just a little bit more damage. And then increase its range by like 30% and increase its duration. The main thing I want is more duration, for it to be a lingering thing. So that is largely what puts it above Blast, is the fact it's a lingering effect, whereas Blast is one instance of damage. One of the things which makes Inner Dem great is its ability to work with gas to basically make death zones. Problem is those death zones only last a couple seconds, so they require a really active playstyle. Not great aiming the mic up. These Argon crystals, which have just nothing to do with. See right there, gas is doing work, it's killing the enemies behind. Did you see that? The gas was killing the enemies as we ran away from them due to Nautilus pulling them into it. Blast wouldn't have done that. The gas has unique utilities which give it the advantage in some situations and setups. I don't know which one I would say is better for general use. Blast is definitely weaker if you can't get the whole big boom benefit. Did I say worse or better? If you can't get a whole big boom, which is what, on 10 procs or when the target dies, the gas is absolutely better. Part of what makes it great on Strun is that Strun has enough status chance to get the 10 maximum gas procs in, I think, a single shot. Even on its Incarnon form, despite being a single shot weapon. There goes the Acolyte. Got cancelled.
The raid is off to a successful start. When you need it, the extraction is ready.
Right, 5 minutes. 447 KPM. That's about what I was expecting. Pretty much, yeah. So, respectable KPM, like, what is this still better than Octavia? I think so. I just think like Octavia is strong, but like we're reaching a point here where all we care about is how big the number goes. Like, let's be honest. Octavia's number does not go very big. That's why Octavia's not getting a high spot on the tier list. I'm going to compare this against my previous tier list. I think I'm not going to move Nova's spot. You know what? No, I am going to move it purely because Frost exists. if you think about it, Frost and Nova do somewhat similar things.
Chaos is spreading.
And for that, I'm going to demote Nova to A tier, just because Frost exists, and kind of there's role overlap there. I don't need to test Citrine. I already know about the new Citrine builds released with this update. Where you use your companion, and that I already know that reaches over 100 kpm, so I don't need to bother testing that. I need to bother testing Citrine. Should I test a Wisp? Yeah, Forva? Yeah, I don't feel like it. Okay, what frames have we tested? Nova, Mesa, Saren, Banshee, Gauss, Octavia, Frost, Mag, Volt, Zaku, alright. This might be the last one we test. Do we even need Cedo? I feel like Epitaph maybe does good enough of a job. Lavos is a complicated situation. Genshin released an update today, but it didn't do anything. I don't know if it's like preloading.
Honor them with quick deaths, and with your
I assume it's like getting the game ready for Natlan or something, but yeah, it's weird. It's an update which didn't do anything,
They're trying to choke
which I've never seen them do before.
Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Okay, we need a good room for Lavos. Oh, would you look at that? Got our best room again. Okay, we're going to lose a little bit of KPM here for having to wait until the enemies get here. We can start working. Fuck that up.
Life support on the way.
Very good. Even with like zero setup, man. Let's see if we're singing the same tune in a minute.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
We're already noticing the survivability problem, aren't we? Seen some people say they shouldn't count this augment when judging him, which is really unfair. Some people just don't want him to succeed, so they don't like the idea of cooldown timers. You know, as you can see here, he really doesn't have cooldowns. Oh, shit. Awkward. Direction, when played optimally, he has no cooldowns. What the fuck is... No, that feels like it's glitching.
Get ready for a capsule.
Okay, do I have less range than I think I do? I think I must. So right there, I'm not even doing anything to actually prime those enemies, and it's still actually doing enough to kill them. Always put gas onto your fort. Always.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
I do feel like his one should have a shorter cooldown. That's effectively it. Also, I feel like this augment, quite frankly, should be base kit. If anything, just to shut up the people complain about it. So yeah, when you fuck it up and you have to deal with that cooldown, there's nothing fun about that. That gets really annoying. Alright, Nautilus is dead. That's really bad. This Nautilus is a big part of our survivability and our KPM here. Games is bugged out. I did not use my 2. I used my 4. But okay, game. Whatever you say. This doesn't feel like it should be working, but it is. Am I fucking hacking? I give it a couple seconds. Prime the Acolyte. If it will actually come into the open, but fuck it. There you go, that'll kill him in a couple seconds.
To a successful start.
You can see we're going to have survivability problems soon. Okay, that's 5 minutes. 570 Wow. Wow. Okay. Alright. Okay, I've realised, like, how we can make this better, and how we can fix this survivability issue here. I definitely do think Lava should get a buff here, just to make it more comfortable to play.
Resist to strike. You strike to win.
My buff would be, first of all, reduce the cooldown on his 1. By a good bit. Secondly, make his 1 heal more, and make it so that when it heals, it also gives you overguard. What we can do is... Reach a Dark Dagger, and use Radiation. So you get overshields. That's how you can give him some survivability. Bearing in mind that KPM... That's pretty damn good KPM, it's more than 100. So we're going to move Lares up. He's at the bottom of B tier right now. We're going to move him up. I'm going to move him... Yeah. That feels right. So I'm going to move Grendel down. Yeah. Just above Octavia. Right, so Lares is now almost over top of B tier. So he didn't actually change tiers, but he still moved up. Largely just because of the survivability and the comfort problems we had there. But as you can see, you don't need to prime enemies for his 4 to actually do damage. A lot of people don't realise that. People think you need to prime them like 10 stats effects. No, with 0 priming, he can still nuke Steel Path enemies. But yeah, Larva's is definitely a little bit outdated in its design now. I like the whole cooldown gimmick. The problem is it's very punishing. That's the thing. It's a really big punishment for not a massive reward. You have survivability problems and you have cooldown problems being a thing. Not to mention, you're also having to constantly fucking mash your ability buttons to imbue. That kind of gets tedious after a while. You could maybe change that with an augment or something. Make it so that, like, I don't know, you would automatically imbue something with a different element. But hell yeah, that would actually be cool if in some way there was an option to give Lavos his own version of a Manticore, but what it does, and by own version of Manticore, I just mean that it appears as an item down here. It's basically like an exalted weapon as well, but instead of the Manticore, it allows you to program what ability inflicts which element. So instead of having to do the whole imbuement system, it just does it for you whenever you cast an ability. I feel like that'd be just a really good quality of life feature. It wouldn't really buff him. It would save you like a millisecond in between each ability cast. So it would be a very slight buff, but overall I think that'd just be a good quality of life change. So that way I don't have to infuse gas every time I cast Catalyze. I don't have to fucking infuse Corrosive every time I do Ophidian. I don't have to infuse... Radiation is what you should probably do for Probe. Probe has the biggest AoE, so yeah, Radiation on that. But yeah, I feel like that'd be a good quality of life boost for him as well. It is not hard to fix the things which are wrong with Lavos, which is a good thing. There are some frames which need some more fundamental changes. Lavos, just small things, just very small things. Just bump up his survivability and bump up his ease of use, and then he's jolly good. Right. For some reason this tier list has fucking Stalker on it. Why? I actually had an idea earlier. If they ever make Stalker a playable frame that we can actually get here, not, you know, playable as he is playable now, he should also use Jade's Judgment mechanic. Jade uses Judgments to buff her abilities. Stalker could use it to buff his weapons. And then they both use the same Judgment mechanic, so that basically when Stalker... Well, so basically you can play them together. So if you had your friend play Jade, you play Stalker, you both apply Judgments with your abilities, and so then you both buff each other. I feel like that would be a really cool frame idea. Both frames work naturally by themselves, and then when paired, they work really well or something. I don't know how you'd achieve that. It'd be a little bit difficult to differentiate their designs enough. The designs of their abilities. But I think you could absolutely make it work. Rendell has an 80 kpm last time we tested him. Actually, since then I think it's gotten worse. Runa's fucky because her damage is based on RNG. So that means sometimes her damage is going to be fucking crazy, and other times it's just going to be meh. It is really hard. Okay, let's test Runa.
Operator, you have remembered well how the Tenno arm themselves.
Yeah, the way Varuna's nuke works is really fucking stupid. What you need to do is use Fangs of Arch twice, and then use your 4, and that's how you nuke. The way the nuke works is you need to get a slash proc with Fangs of Arch, and then hit them with your 4. If you don't get a slash proc, then your damage is going to be way lower. That's it. Or you can run the standard melee nuke. I forget which one is actually more effective. If it wasn't based on RNG, the ability nuke would probably be better. If I remember correctly, though, I think the melee nuke is better, but only because it's more consistent. So otherwise, the ability nuke would be a very consistent 16-meter radius nuke every couple seconds. Well, the benefit of Runa is that she gets to do all of this whilst being completely invisible. A lot like Octavia. It's a bit shit, her damage is RNG based, but oh well. I mean, if we want, we can still test out the melee build actually here. We don't have Argonac, but we don't need that, considering how much damage Rune already gives. Also, put on like View when hosted for all my stuff, just because I think it looks cool. I still really think we should have dropped Sevagoths. Runa should have had Sevagoths kit. But I do like Runa's kit as is, but like, imagine her properly being a proper werewolf, right?
They're trying to choke you out.
Let's not pretend you wouldn't want
sending
that.
auxiliary life support.
This shouldn't work. I've already fucked you up. What the fuck is happening? Why is Evan dying? Why is Evan dying? This isn't even supposed to be working. Like, what is killing them? I don't know what is killing the enemies.
Life support incoming.
Oh! Oh shit! The blast rework! Oh fuck! And the cold rework as well, if you see with freezing enemies. I hadn't considered that. Oh shit, the status update gave Runa a buff. It's not just fucking Slash anymore. Of course. Slash is still probably the best way, but this is working, evidently.
Activating it will buy you more time.
But that makes the RNG less of a problem. If there's more status effects, it means more maximum damage, but also means more consistent damage. Look at that! This is fucking popping me. Granted, this feels really nice right now, but what's our KPM? Also, you need to get melee kills to keep your energy up, so... Okay, we have max energy, so we can refresh our 4. Did I say max energy? I mean max power strength. Maybe they just shadow buffed Rune and I just didn't hear about it. This feels weird. I don't know what is happening. It doesn't even feel like the blast changes anymore. I don't know what is going on.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Also, fucking Nautilus is going crazy. But it feels way more consistent. That's for sure. Because I'm not yet checked out KPM. We might be doing really badly. I think we are. I think we're doing pretty good. I'm gonna bet 100 KPM. Of course, we're getting to do all this damage whilst being completely invisible, pretty much completely invulnerable at the same time, and with no energy problems. So our 4 is refusing to give us back the second stack. And just so I say, right, we got it. Where are these bonkers damage numbers coming from? What? I genuinely don't know what's happening. I'm actually confused. I thought I understood Varuna's kit, but now I feel like I don't. My fucking invis is wearing out. Oh. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. Wow. Wowie. That's good. That's really good. Is that 140 kpm? Is that really 140 kpm? Because holy shit, that would take her straight up to S tier. 700 divided by 5, that's 140 kpm. Holy fuck. Alright, Varuna, you're getting bumped up an entire tier for that. Holy shit. Quite frankly, I'm gonna buff you. I'm gonna put you. Should I put you all the way up above Protea? Thing is, Protea is one of the best KPM, but also great support on top of that. Runa has no team support. We'll put it down here. I think that performs even better than Kaloro did as well. And with less stress. Fuck, Runa's really fucking good. Holy shit. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I think it's a status rework. Oh yeah, of course, because the other thing, there's also like the magnetic change, isn't there? So like magnetic now deals electric procs when you break a shield, doesn't it? So that also might be taking an effect. And yeah, we are dealing enough cold procs to freeze enemies as well. So there's a lot of shit going on here. People that know the game slightly better than I do, please make some videos refreshing your Varuna builds. Because clearly something changed.
As you conquer the foe,
I think it's a status rework.
you conquer yourself.
I think what we're seeing here, what status has changed? It's Blast, which obviously is going to help because that's just more damage. Magnetic could be helping by shredding the enemy shields and then giving us electric procs. I don't know how his electric procs scale, but more damage, and also it actually inflicts an electric proc as well. someone shout my name? No. Okay. It actually inflicts electric shock as well, so that helps with the condition overload part of her kit. Fuck yeah, Hugrat Wolf. You're fucking powerful. Wow. Runa went from middle of A tier to top 5 frames in the game. That? Okay. Right. What the fuck do I do now? I feel like I'm about done testing. I feel pretty confident putting this tier list out as is now. I heard there's a new Excalibur build idea. I think it uses ceramic dagger. That's fine. Base status chance, here we go.
All set. Service your weapons myself.
Chain range 10 meters. This is supposed to be a slash dash build. Give them melee guidance. That's done. Forget, do you even use Exalted Blade on this? I think you don't, I think you just use Raw. Because the annoying thing about Excalibur Umbra, when he first released, I was like, oh fuck yeah, free Umbra Former for free? This is actually a downgrade now, this is actually bad. You have to form our ovaries to build him properly, which is really annoying. So yeah, since then we've actually done some slight V-works to Excalibur, which now make health tanking redundant on him. Fuck it, let's just go in with this build. We might, for this to work, I know there's like the infinite setup where this just goes forever. I think that would require more ability range.
These are worthy foes.
Do you get?
Underestimate them
No, you don't.
at your peril.
Of course, like, I love Umbra. It's one of my favourite frames fashion-wise, obviously lore-wise, it's amazing. But like, actually, usability, it's so sad. I have a poster of Umbra in my room. I got a Heart of Deimos poster when it released, which has Umbra on it.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support
Right.
capsules your way.
Oh. And it's literally just do nothing, right? And because he applies slash on slash dash, yeah, it just goes. It's weird, during this, he seems to be immortal, right? But no, he actually, he still takes damage to his shields during that for some reason. No health damage, but everything else still gets hurt. But from what I've heard, this is actually, like, people who tested this said that this is the best KPM that Excalibur gets. Which is kind of sad. So it's literally just don't play the game. This does rely on Ceramic Dagger. This only works because of the status chance thing I just pointed out. And even it probably doesn't have the best scaling. Obviously, if you had Wall, that would help you as well.
life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
This is not how we expected Excalibur to work. You know, back playing the game years ago, we thought Exalted Blade would always be the way to go. Back in the day, Slash Dash was an awful ability. Now it's his best. Things like that. The strength boost from his 3 there, that boost should be basic hit. We are struggling with life support, so KPM can't be that good. This is not the best room, that little fucking thing down there, but it's also not the worst. Nothing's going to change how this chaining works.
Additional life support has arrived.
Alright, here we go again. But I forgot to start clipping these at the start of the stream. I was going to upload these streams down, but I can't be bothered. All this is here to say, look, I did test these things. I actually went through the effort to try to make my tier list accurate. There's more than what a lot of Warframe YouTubers do. A lot of other YouTubers just do it off the top of their head. Oh, I'm actually putting in some work. Oh yeah, X and Y. Not great. Got basically a hard counter to this build. It's not one slash block alone is not going to be enough to do you in. I don't know if blind is actually boosting down damage. Again, I don't Google shit in Warframe, so I don't know how a lot of stuff has underlying mechanics. I know how a lot of that works. I just play the game.
This will help our cause.
It's somewhat of a point of pride for me.
Ready. Go to extraction.
At the end of the slash dash, I'll check out KPM again. 5 minutes, 425 kills. What? Also, from what I can tell, oh no, get out of it by jumping. Oh, wait a moment actually. Does going in carnal form give a damage boost? If so, that should be considered. I can't tell. Okay, based on how much damage that guy's taken, I think it's fair to say that Incarnal Form does not boost slash dash. Let's go. So this is usable. It is usable, but it's also, was it B tier or C tier I put him in? This does not change my mind all that much. I think I put him as about
Things
good.
seem tough.
You exist
Nora
to
knows,
strike.
but
You
believe
strike to win.
though it's going out of
The lesson
style, there are
ends.
people working to make this system a better
Yeah,
place.
C tier, low C tier. I also put Caliban above him. A lot of people would have been pissed off with how high I place Caliban. Caliban's really underrated. He's not good, but people say he's the worst framer in the game. He is not. He's a direct upgrade to Nyx. Direct upgrade. And a direct downgrade to Zaku. Despite Zaku coming first, right? Yeah. Which is kind of part of a problem with Caliban. Caliban is basically unkillable, has one of the best armor strips in the game when it doesn't bug out, because it does bug out a lot. And that's it. That's all he has. But it's more what Nyx has. Where is Caliban? There he is. Let me break it down. I'm not going to bother testing him. I already know his KPM. It's about 80. In a good case scenario. His 4 armor strip. Aegis is really helpful for him. But the point is, his 3, especially with Arcane Aegis, makes him immortal. And also thanks to redirection here. He's unkillable, especially with Nourish as well, stunning enemies for you. Caliban is basically unkillable. Which I think, like, looking at all of this, you would think, okay, so factoring all of that, you would put him on about an equal level to Rhino, which is what I've done. I put him slightly above Rhino. That's the thing. I saw some people say, "Oh yeah, here's how to make Rhino good." I followed their instructions. I copied their builds. Still didn't make them good. That's the only time when I do copy someone's builds, is when they're trying to argue something or say something is good when I'm pretty sure it's bad. Yeah, they're just wrong. They were Simulacrum Warrior, if I remember correctly. They only do stuff in Simulacrum, which I am kind of guilty of. But I never do tier lists or anything based on Simulacrum testing. Simulacrum testing I just use just to see the raw damage numbers without the clutter of, there being 50 enemies on the screen. Also for more like stricter survivability tests or just understanding ability mechanics. The good thing about Simulacrum is it's really good for Instagram posts, right? That's the thing, like I do my frame reviews as Instagram posts, so it's really comfortable to spawn in enemies and show it that way. Because the visual clutter of an actual Warframe mission is too much for a lot of people. I think I'm done. I think I'm about ready to finally fucking publish this tier list. This has been on my mind for like a week. By far the most effort I've put into one. I almost feel like I should... Okay. Oh, no, actually, Protea Prime exists. It just makes sense. I placed her really high up. It wouldn't be fair for me to just place her high up without testing. Every other frame I've put in S tier, I've tested. Well, not quite every other. I tested Nezza fairly recently. Zephyr doesn't need testing. I also tested her fairly recently. Citrine is largely there because of her support, and that's not something we can test right now. Wisp is the same. Otherwise, everyone else that is in S tier I've already tested. So yeah, we should test Protea, just to be fair to the other frames.
As ready as you will ever be.
Do we want Raw or do we want Erosion? I think we go Erosion because of Temporal Artillery. Alright. It's actually been a while since I've played Protea in a proper mission, so hopefully this goes well. I really love it. Like, I love certain frames. It's just like they've been top tier since they released. Not tier. Protea is one of those. I still kind of wish Frost as an actual ability nuker was more viable. It is possible, using the most niche arcanes in the entire game, fucking Theorems, which takes fucking tens of hours of grinding just for Frost. Just so you can make him a mediocre ability nuker. I do wish it was viable. I do get how it'd be really unbalanced if Frost was literally able to just press this 4 and be one of the best nukers in the game. But it would just be really satisfying.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Oh, would you look at? We got a good room. I tried to cancel it. Well, that's a KPM loss. Oh boy. Alright. And let's stick to the upper area. Never forget you can spam Grenade Fan during this animation. Also, I am absolutely fine with demoting Protea if it seems like I should. So I do not worship her nearly as much as I used to. Again, I'm actually a little bit out of fashion with her, quite frankly, I would say.
Capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
I need more energy so we can go temple again. This is definitely not the best room. 2 different elevations is not great for Protea. Obviously her blazes don't cope with it particularly well. Placed down in the dispensary last second there. Something I appreciate about Protea is that she's an ability nuker who does take skill.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Or some mechanical knowledge at least. Place those grenades down there. The grenades thing only works if you're not in the middle of an ability cast animation at the end of your timer. So you want to make sure that you're not, because otherwise you do lose out on a lot of damage. Pause. Right. Also, of course, don't want to forget to do it. Also, of course, part of the point of this build, no helmet. So you can't say this is a helmet build. This is entirely base kit. We're not doing great on life support. I think the reason why is, again, just because we're far away. We fucked it up. So now I can't cast during that whole animation. Not great.
Our operative is making
Barely made that.
This will help our cause. Extraction is available.
Alright, that's 5 minutes. 558 KPM, still good. Is that quite up to scratch with the other top tier DPSs here? No. Am I actually a little bit rusty with Protea? Yes. Was that not great room for it? Yes.
What you have learned here will serve you well.
Does she also bring support capabilities? Yes. No, Protea is, I would say, the best frame in the game for interception. There's a lot of frames which really struggle to solo interception. Protea is one of the few which excel in interception. So 4 is actually really good as a mobility tool. I think I will move Protea down, but only by like a step or two.
Flattery, flattery,
So she's still a really good utility frame.
where they can send me gifts. Some want to take me out to dinner. One lonesome old
I'm gonna
railway
move
even
Measure
asked
down.
Nora to marry him.
Yeah. Let's move Frost up, actually.
Nora ain't the marrying kind, but thank you. Was in love once with a man.
Alright, yeah, I think I'm done. I think it's about done. I'm gonna give it a once over. Is Ember better than Dante now?
Against which we must be forever on guard. But damn, he looked good in a suit.
I think so, yeah. It's really difficult. I actually forget what Ember's exact KPM was. I definitely feel like some people are going to be pissed at me placing Iovelli so high up, but like, play the game. Also, I know Valkyrie can perform really well in niche setups. I just can't be fucking bothered, quite frankly. But I do not care if like one or two of these frames are misplaced. That's bound to happen. There's always a setup I'm not aware of or just can't bother to test. Like Valkyrie's slide facts are really good,
Ordis
I
has
know
been
that.
counting stars, operator. All accounted for.
Am I going to go through that effort? Poor Ivara. Ivara still holds a special place in my heart. Alright, so number 1, Gauss. Very top. In his own tier, Gauss. So much better than the others, it's unfair. I should maybe change that, because some frames actually got very close to his KPM. I think Runa might have even exceeded it. No, she didn't, but she got close. If Runa's damage was more consistent, she actually probably would have beaten his KPM. But thankfully it is still RNG based, so Gauss is still on top. So yeah, Gauss is in his own tier at the top. Then S tier. Zaku, Dagoth, Kaloru, Runa, Seren, Sevagoth, Jade, Jaya, Protea, Frost, Ulva, Wisp, Zephyr, Citrine, Measure. A tier. Nova, Mesa, Mirage, Corvette, Ember, Dante, Garuda, Mag, Yavelli, Gava, Inaros, Revenant. B tier, Hydroid, Volt, Laros, Wukong, Baruch, Stynax, Grendel, Octavia, Necros, Ash, Nidus, Equinox, Hildren. C tier, Caliban, Rhino, Vorban, Ivara, Excalibur, Atlas. D tier, Titania, Valkyrie, Chroma, Banshee, Oberon, Limbo. F tier, Nyx, Harrow, Loki, Trinity. There you go. That's a tier list. Even if it is something I wanted to change at this point, I'm fucking done. I just want this out. I've been working on this tier list for so damn long, and I've put so much more thought into this than any other poor sod would have. How's my Zarku fashion for the deluxe? Yeah. I think this is a really hard fashion to do. I think I like this, so that looks funky. Yeah. Alright, I'm ending stream.